Greetings, I'm Caffeine Rage and I'm back with the Sunday Sampler. This week we're going to be taking a look at Judgment, Apocalypse Survival Simulation. This is, well, as you just heard, a Apocalypse Survival Simulation, or Town Builder, with some RPG elements. Self-published by Suncrash, and as per usual, this is a review copy. So, Judgment Apocalypse Survival Simulator. This is essentially RimWorld with the end times flavor to it. I mean, it feels a lot like RimWorld, but that also makes me make some potentially unfair comparisons between the two games. And I'll admit, I'm probably going to be a little bit unfair to this game because I have many hours in RimWorld, and this is almost RimWorld light in a lot of aspects. But before we get started, I do want to say that this game does have mod support, and at least one or two of the main things I'm going to be complaining about can be fixed in mod support, or I shouldn't say fixed, but gotten around, because there's some rather severe limitations. And also, there is a story-based campaign, which is the mode I'm currently in for the save file for this, but there is free play, not free to play. This is a paid game. This is actually about $20, but I'm going to start up a new game to show you the different options here. First of all, there's custom, which allows you to do enemy progress, to change how much needs, work amounts, that sort of thing, which is actually a very nice thing. And some of these don't make sense right off the bat, but that's because I'm going to cover them later. Like awareness rate is a big one. But then there's also 4 different modes. I believe I'm in challenging for my play file, but I'll go into challenging just so you can see the generation here. You get 3, well, they're campers, they're survivalists, who are just in the world, in the wild whenever the end of the world hits, so they decide to go make a camp and try to just build up a base for who knows what reason. But this is RPG-esque progression on the skills. So these overall classes here: artisan, occultist, priest, scout, fighter, engineer, mean quite a bit on top of the individual traits, which are some positive, some negative. You could see movement speed, mind speed, vision range, occult research speed. There's 2 different research systems in this game: builder, healthy, nimble. Smoker is a really bad one. But we'll get into that in just a little bit. I just wanted to show you this, and the fact that these guys are completely customizable down to their clothing. Even though armor does cover this somewhat, the overall... Sorry, I was trying to see what... it looked like that was a slider and I hadn't messed with that. The overall equipment is actually very limited, and the overall start is very limited. So let me just continue. Sunday Sampler. This is on day 17, a few hours into the game. And this is my base, at least so far. I'm in the process of walling off. I have a good food source coming in from these 4 farms, plus this one, which is for grain for the animals and for bread. But there's a very limited start and a very linear progression system in this game, which is highly off-putting to me. And by linear progression, let me show you the research screen. You have 5 tabs, 3 of which are considered normal research, and they use research points. See, right now I have 162 of 120, so I could research crossbows this instant. But then you start getting further down, and you start seeing additional research requirements. You have research kits, research materials, which are found through just scavenging, which I haven't found in the wild yet. I've seen them on merchants that's popped up here so often, but I haven't seen them myself. And the market system is a bit meh. mostly because of just sale prices being ludicrous. Matter of fact, I could show you that with this. Let's go to weapons and let's scroll down to, okay, a 50 caliber. All right, buy value 3,200 scrap, because that's the research used, or the essentially the money. You know, like in Rimworld, silver, and this it's scrap materials. But it only sells for 640. I mean, that's just ludicrous. And as far as I could tell, there's no real crafting or no trade crafts to be had. Everything's used for other things, so there's nothing to make purely to sell, like in Rimworld has, you know, art. You could make it to pretty up the place, but it also has a very high sell value. In this, you don't have that. And there's no trade caravans, just a trader appears every so often. Which, that really, really, really dampens the overall... I was just seeing what she was doing, but she's hungry. It really dampens the overall trading mechanic whenever you're trading off a bunch of stuff to be able to afford something, or you just build up enough scrap, which it's still, that's a hell of a, you know, a thing. And there's no way to get around that. Like in Rimworld, you have the bartering system where the prices are based off of whoever is actively trading with the person. And this, the traders don't even show up. There's just a little thing that pops up over here, and you know, you click on it and the trade windows pops up. And that's the thing for a lot of this, is that there's a lot of oddball mechanics. The inventory system is just weird. Where, okay, like you see May here, she's gathering water at the well. But where's the water going? Well, it's going in the magic inventory here. This is the base inventory, and this is all the inventory management you need. This shows you the overall view and also allows you to set up auto crafting. Like I have salads auto crafting, so I keep a minimum 50 and a maximum 70. I don't have to worry about storage capacity. I don't have to worry about them rotting. They're just there. And occasionally my crafter, which crafting actually covers both crafting, as in making weapons, armor, consumables, that sort of thing, and food. Cooking is rolled into it, which is just also another oddity, as I'm putting out a little bit more trees here to continue the wall around. It's just strange. Like I said, there's dual research. You get the occult library and the experiment table. And also only 2 beds for the entire colony of 6. You only start with 1. And that really, really, really limits you, because after a few days, because the sleep has been staggered so much, you're, instead of using 3 colonists, you're down to about 2.5. Because by the time one is finished resting and is off, doing his thing, one of your colonists is already starting to get tired, and tired colonists perform weaker in combat. They just aren't all that great, and they start bitching. Granted, there's not a lot to really worry about here, because there's no morale system, there's no relationship system that I could tell. Everyone just is, which is a little disappointing to me. But getting back to research, let's just go ahead and learn a new thing. So I could get, actually I can't get metal working because I don't have research materials. The only other thing I could get here is the gathering efficiency, which is nice. I mean, it's 10% on everything, but that's a fucking ludicrous cost. 240? And over here, I mean, animal raising, I got early because I figured diversify my food, get some wool in to be able to build the bed. But I got that before. I clicked the wrong damn thing. I got that before I got brick making. And in order to make the pen, which I could show you here, you have to click through 2 things. You need both wheat and brick, which wheat I could understand because, feed. But that is up here, and that requires me to build a wheat farm. So you can see how there's a lot of interdependence between the different research, which I actually like. But because it takes so fucking long to get some of these, it is just a pain in the ass. And also, well, since we're on research, I have to say that the sound effects get fucking old real quick. I have the sound effects thankfully turned down, but before I did, it just sounded like my stoner neighbor was sitting behind me with a water pipe, because the research has that bubbling sound. Some of the crafting has a lot of hammering sounds. It gets exceptionally old. Oh, which is a shame, because that's just a real detriment. The overall research system just being so linear. The Steam store's screenshots, which try saying that 3 times fast, show it being a lot more open than this. It's not this linear path. I'm not sure if they changed it in the later builds of the early access or what, but this is just ridiculous. I mean, I can't even... No, I could finally get first aid, which allows me to make first aid kits, which requires scraps, which eats into my money and wool, but I probably should get that anyway, so let's just grab first aid. So I finally got first aid. Outside of that, colonists just heal over time. There's no wound system like in RimWorld. Everyone just has HP, and their weapons do so much DPS. Speaking of weapons, let's just dive right into the combat system and the awareness system. You may notice this over here, enemy awareness. This is essentially a thermometer of your chances to be attacked over the course of several days, and it slowly takes up, and once you get attacked, it resets to 0 and then rinse and repeat. And I have to say, combat isn't bad overall, it's just a bit clunky. I think it's mostly because my colonists are still using bows, so it doesn't feel like they're really attacking all that much. I'm not sure if they're just standing there until I manually force them to attack or not. It's just... it doesn't have that feedback, you know? There's really no indication that things are getting hurt outside of just, their health bars getting ticked off, which I'm hoping to show you combat. If not, then I could go to the world map. Which is the world map, by the way, of my team, the Lizards, at this point. I could send them off to a mission nearby. Well, these are just raiding missions that pop up every so often, propagate, here's vegetables and scrap, vegetables, wood and scrap, wood and question mark, and that's 1 minor demon, 1 imp, and 3 firearms. That may be worthwhile just to see what the hell that is. But this is pretty much the base game overall, is that build up and send out parties, and once your awareness starts to get too high, hang back, wait for them to attack, and then rinse and repeat. But before I was talking about how the game is very linear. Another problem with another problem I have with this game, you can just see I got some wool there from the sheep, but actually no food. Yeah, it does say their droppings can be used as fertilizer, so I'm not sure if that is helping my vegetable farms or not. It's actually not very clear. But another problem I have with the building system or the game, I should say, itself, is that the building system is so fucking limited. I mean, first of all, look how small this map is, alright? I'm on day 18 now, and I have a good, I would say 20% of the map taken over. And that's not counting, me just looting resources and stuff. But in order to build crafting stuff, actually some of these can be built outside, but a majority of this, even though this is a very clunky system here, has to be built in cabins. Like right now, I can't build that because I need clay. So let's queue up some clay jobs. So mine some clay, and in order to get to the screen that dictates priorities, I have to actually click one of these guys and go to priorities. And this is, once again, it's easy to swap one person, but it's tough to get an overall feel of what's going on. Maybe it's just I'm used to how RimWorld handles it with a numeric system. But this, I'm able to see that, 2 colonists have high priority on farming, 3 have on high priority fetch water, which is only 1 water source, so that doesn't really matter. But then it starts to get a little jumbled. It's easy to use for the individuals, but it's tough to really get an overall feel for the colony. I'd love to see it where if I sort by the individual skills, it also would highlight where they are on this. Because, okay, I want to, let's say, get my miners. Okay, mining is here on her, or him. There on her, way back here on him. So, it's a jumble of just icons that really don't mean a lot. And you can turn off some of these, just click, 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 like, no, she's terrible at those anyway. I'll just turn those off. But still, even if you just turn off some of the, granted, I have one character that I don't want to do, turn off all his bad ones because he's shit at everything except crafting. It's just a jumble of icons. But maybe it's just me getting used to it. I don't know. But okay, so set priorities. I have May mining. Oh, we had a level up. Actually, perfect. So I'll talk about that in just a moment. And May is fetching water right now. So we could also do a manual thing. So May, go mine. And then somebody else will take over gathering water eventually because I have three people on high priority water gathering. But there's also this weird thing of them walking through workstations, which just feels weird. Especially whenever you have these limited cabins and you put something in an odd position. Because, let's see. There's only this much space. Instead of them walking around, because there's obviously enough space there to walk around. They'll just walk right through it and it's just, it feels off, Maybe that's just me being slightly OCD or being used to being able to customize a bit more. Oh. We just got a random event. These have started popping up in the last few days, and I was going to talk about them eventually, but So, I'm able to burn some occult research on this. Dark clouds cover the sky. The soft glow of the moon reaches through what seams in holes it can find, illuminating a weak, faint light, barely enough to see. A dark red comet streaks across the sky, coloring it in a dark crimson color. It appears to be less than witchcraft. The moon itself... no less than witchcraft. The moon itself becomes red and glows ominous. Demonic howls can be heard in the distance. These bad omens seem to give them an unnatural strength. Well, let's search for an explanation. The survivors discover an ancient manuscript mentioning a blood moon and an old religious ritual used to protect against it. After performing the ritual, the moon returns to its normal pale self. The demonic howls immediately begin to wane. Things are back to normal. The strange phenomenon must have had real mystic properties. In the dark corners around your colony, you find some strange occult resources that are commonly left behind after vanquishing demons. So I got 5 ectoplasm out of that random event because I had enough occult research built up. Speaking of which, I could also get pain charms. I can actually start researching that, which I don't have enough resin. Actually, what am I saying start researching? It's just an unlock. So we'll grab that. And I'll actually talk a little bit about this, where these rituals are an interesting mechanic, but at the same time, they take ages to perform, a lot of resources, and at least the opening ones don't really do all that much. 50% growing speed and negative 50% tending needs. That sounds like a lot, but these don't require a lot of tending, and they grow very quickly. And the rain dance, well, first of all, there's no weather in the game. It's just, it darkens the... it doesn't even darken the screen. It's just... everything, all the timers are changed. There's no weather at all now that I really think about it, which is... I think that's something that's been bugging me, and I haven't really thought about it. But, yeah. Let's just go ahead and, for the hell of it, do that. So that starts that, and we should have... Yeah. Here comes Jan to perform the ritual, which takes fucking ages to do. Yeah, well, I'll just watch the progress meter here. As the whispers in the dark and Cthulhu starts to awaken. Any day now, that research... she just walks right through the magic circle and, yeah, there's no ritual going on. It's fine. But yeah, the progress bar slowly starts ticking. And this is just for random trees to grow. Yeah, just... I hope that this is more powerful later. And actually, I haven't really looked in. Let's see. Voodoo. Creates a voodoo doll, which could be used to hex enemies. Protection Cross, Arcane Scrolls. I mean, these are turning into more just random buffs, which is fine and all, but, you know, occult doesn't really scream to me Blessed Pistol, you know? Maybe that's just me. Matter of fact, yeah. A research chip to get a sword. Another sword. Is that a bazooka? Yes, that's a bazooka. Well, nothing more occult than a bazooka, it seems. Well, I was in the occult, not the ritual, so going down, mutate soul, which the soul of the survival performing this is bent and broken, mutating into a new soul. Replaces all the traits with random new ones. So actually that would be worthwhile for someone that's just absolutely terrible. And repel evil forces, lowers awareness by 50% for a time. Performed in a holy altar though. So there are interesting things. It takes a hell of a long time to get down here because look, 4,320 research. I mean, that's a hell of a jump. There's this stone circle. Also, you know, Stonehenge. Yeah, just research takes fucking forever. Which is fine and all, but well, anyway, let's talk about the skill up system, because this doesn't have skill ups like you may expect. Well, I guess we had enough and went to bed because we're at what? Less than a third. Yeah, May just walks right across the magic circle. Yeah, doesn't care. So skills don't skill up like you may expect. Instead, you get a level up screen. So this is for David, who, let's see what David's thing is. He's water. He does rituals. He does scientific research. Actually, has, I guess, a passion for it. And he also gets experience a lot faster from it. And he is good at mining. So we could take a look at his skills. And right now he has tech weapons accuracy. I didn't realize that was limited to a certain type of weapons at first. But yeah, he's able to quarry faster, mine faster. And some of these are also a choice. So you can see invasion here as a plus. So if I choose that, you can do evasion plus 5% or 50% patrolling speed, which is the world map thing. Crafting, build speed, mining, quarrying. But let's take a look at his priorities again. Crafting. He wasn't a great crafter, but we could make him a better crafter by just putting more into his crafting speed. So there he goes. And now he has a plus 20% here, so we can move him up. So, enemies approaching. So they warn us about that. And let's just pause. And Jan also has a skill up. Priorities. Jan is occult research. So we'll do more occult research. And you could max out 3 of these. The max level is 10, at least right now. There are mods that boost that, but yeah. So we have combat incoming. So, oh, we have another skill up. People must have skilled up or be just in sync. So, let's just do could do construction speed. Is that everyone? No, obviously not. Okay. And then update until I've finished or unpaused. So we'll get a little bit of combat in here in just a moment. And you'll see what I mean by it not really having a lot of impact. But that's the, that's how you progress. I mean, there's no, as a person farms, they get better at farming. You can see them slowly getting experience here. And you can also set it to a completely manual mode. And, but that just seems so tedious and I never messed with it. So I'm just sitting here waiting for combat to start. I'm just fast forwarding now. Honestly, most of the time I'm playing on 2-speed. Okay, so defensive plans. The game allows you to set a rally point before a combat starts, and that's why I did. So everybody should be heading to the woods, because I haven't completely walled off yet. And being attacked. So it allows me to go in and finalize my stuff. This is fine for now. I may want to put one more person with a bow. I have Molotovs because, that's handy. But this is the only time that you're able to change out weapons before combat starts. Once combat starts, you are forced to keep this loadout. There's no, oh, well, this isn't working. I'll go to the inventory and quickly swap out weapons with one person like in other games. Which is meh. Okay, so we'll pause here. We have Hellhounds, Reapers, Fire Imps. There's a couple coming from up there, so we'll take care of them first. See what I mean by the combat being kind of light? There is a cover system. You can see it around here because they're in the woods. But it's, not very effective. Okay, so let's see if they actually attack. No. Okay, they finally started to attack once it got right on top of them. I'm to say melee seems to be just a complete joke. And that's combat. David got no experience because he didn't get to damage anything. Because he was still on melee mode. Really should switch him off of it. But that was how combat works. They just kind of kamikaze rush you. There's no real strategy of them trying to outflank or outmaneuver you. It's just charge. At least so far, the first 4 or 5 hours in the game. If it gets more tactical later, that will be a relief, but honestly not counting on it at this point. So let's see, what else is there to really talk about? I will say movement overall is very sluggish. Just look at people slowly moseying. This is on normal speed, by the way. But you saw how quickly the demons were moving. I realize that's, to give the demons a more menacing presence, but considering their AI is just pretty much charge, or charge into range, they don't try to take cover or anything. It's, at least from my opinion, how it looked, because the Reapers that were attacking just, kind of just charged up to about here and started shooting, instead of, coming in from up here and trying to use cover. It's just... the game feels lacking on a lot of fronts. It's not a bad game, but I've played better. I played 150 hours better on YouTube. And it's hard not to make those comparisons. And I'm just looking over my things to see if there's anything else I'm really missing. I mentioned the awareness mechanic, which you can see just dropped back to 0 because, I killed the party that was going after me. And we're still doing the ritual, and it's only up to 50%. equipment overall seems to be very limited, actually, because you get one piece of armor, which right now I just have the reinforced outfits, which is, you know, tier 0, just a little bit better health and evasion, but no real armor. You get a equipment slot, which in this case I'm using Molotovs on everyone except for Jan, who has a wolf pendant from an event, and one weapon slot. Overall, very, very, very limited. Granted, with how crafting is, because let's just actually hang on. Have we gotten enough to be able to make the infirmary? We have, and it's a 2-slot building. And I could, you know, oh, sorry, to rotate the buildings, it's comment period, and it's just an odd placement. I could slot it right there, but it just looks weird, you know? So in order to build a hospital, would have to build a new building up here, and it's only a 3x6, or sorry, it's 6 slots, 3x2. The higher level buildings are bigger, but even then they're not great. I'm really missing just customizable buildings overall. But let's just show you the idea of the research or the crafting chain. So I've been slowly walling in, so and I can't queue up something that I don't have the resources for. So okay, I want to build more picket fences. In order to do that, I need boards and I need bricks. I have the bricks, but in order to make the bricks anyway, I need wood, stone, and clay. To make the boards, I need wood. So I could queue up more boards there. Or I could just have it to automatically craft them. Which does take some of the burn off for... Well, actually, we should make some of these. And unfortunately, the only way you could make less of something is to click down here. Or click into it and lower it there. Because right-clicking just brings up this info, and left-clicking adds one. And I could also make shields as well, which requires hides that you have to kill werewolves for. But you can see how it gets a little annoying. I think it's mostly speed issues, though. It's just so sluggish, and because everybody kind of just moseys. I mean, look at Jan. You know, going to the buffet, having a salad at the buffet. Okay. Now we're going back to the ritual. Nearly done with it now. We'll speed up ×2. I mean, honestly, ×2 feels about what it should have been. Or have people kind of, you know, jogging. Yeah, maybe I'm just being a little rough on the game. I don't know. Okay, so ritual's done. We got a little bit of trees here. I think that one's new. A few over here are new. And that was it. That was wheat well spent, wasn't it? Granted, they are at full maturity. Planted these ages ago, and they've just hit full maturity, so that is the benefit of them. But even then, you know, that's 4, 9, 14, 18 wood in the base. Oh, wait, there's that one over there. 22 wood that grew in the base. For how long to complete the ritual? Yeah. And I should emphasize, I'm probably being hard on this because I'm used to RimWorld. And RimWorld is a lot more complex of a game, and to me a lot more fun of a game. Because it has less irritation like this. But maybe I'm just used to, you know, bouncing some things. You know, bouncing, you know, have to do not just 10 gardens, but also, you know, have to worry about the vegetables rotting. Not just, you know, them going to magic inventory and I have nearly 500 vegetables and, you know, don't have to worry about them. Or, you know, trees slowly expanding instead of having to manually grow a grove of trees, which actually takes ages to plant. I mean, I realized planting a tree in real life isn't exactly an easy task, but still. And I think we actually covered all my notes, though. Of me just, sitting here yammering away. I will do a quick mission in the overworld. I think I can't add anyone else. No, I could only send out 5 people on a mission. Which it feels odd having that maximum of 5 when there's obviously space for more. Maybe for mods, I don't know. But we'll send out all my survivors except 1, and I want to see what this is. Let's see, 3, so 5 demons there for some unknown thing. So the lizards, roll out. You can see if we go back to the main map, everyone just spontaneously disappears. And that's not the only time it does that, by the way, because if you rescue someone, which that's been the only time I've encountered a opportunity to get a new colonist, is rescue missions. But I have an auto resolve here. Actually, let's auto resolve it. See it. Okay, so we get auto resolve in our favor. We got binoculars. Fancy. But still, look at the sell price versus the buy price. Yeah, I'm just looking around, see if there's anything else interesting. No. Okay, guys. Return home. Completing a rescue mission. My rescue team will still be over here somewhere where I got the mission completed. And the person that they rescued warps back to the main base because they didn't join the rescue team. It's just an oddity. There's a lot of those little things that are like, huh? What? Give it just a moment and they'll pop back into existence here. Because they are about back. Oh, there they are. Went back into his existence. Maybe could have handled that a little bit smoother. I don't know. He's making first aid kits, which is nice. But yeah, I think we're pretty much done here. It's not a... I have to emphasize this is not a bad game. It's just kind of a meh game. If you really, really like the Judgment Day theme or want a more... I can't even say grounded because there's fucking magic in the game. If you want a more semi-realistic... how about an Earthbound? And not Earthbound as in Earthbound. I mean Earthbound as in down to earth. Version of the survival town builder thing. Then, this isn't a bad choice. It's just I think that there's personally better out there. And no, I'm not just kissing Rimworld's ass some more. It's not the only one. But yeah, I think we are done here at just shy of the 40-minute mark. As always, constructive feedback is greatly appreciated. Even though you can't really tell, it is morning of the 20th day. Oh, the map just is so static. I think that's also one thing that's kind of throwing me off. Is just nighttime. It changes the background sound effects. So, oh, and we got a level up. But we'll leave that. But you see, just the difference here. She gets construction damage. Dark weapons. That's dark, not dank. Holy weapons farming. Well, oh, there's the rescue mission, and that's off over there. Actually, a pretty easy rescue mission at that. Some of those are actually very brutal, but yeah. I didn't really show this, quarrying, research, tech weapons, tools expert. So yeah, the classes do greatly differ just how people could advance. You can learn to use pistols a lot better. But yeah, as always, constructive feedback is greatly appreciated after I got on that little tangent. Either in the comments below or if you don't really have anything to say but want to let me know that you've enjoyed or heard this. The appropriate buttons are down below, and subscribe if you wish to see more of the Sunday Sampler or my other content. As always, thank you for watching, and I think I'm done bashing this game for a while. Yeah. Oh, well, there's the trade caravan. Right on time. And, you know, that's all it is, you know, you click the thing. Uzi, buy for 600, sell for 120. I mean, even the first aid kit, buy 90, sell 13. I mean, fucking teen? At least your grenades are cheap. But yeah. Yeah, that's what I was talking about with the sale values being abysmal. Not even a third on most of these. I mean, even the cheap stuff is, you know, 30 to 7. Oh. Yeah, we're done here. Perfect timing on the trade caravan, though. Allows me to show you that a hell of a lot easier. You can see this scrap. I only have 110 scrap anyway. So if I wanted to sell off everything, you know, I could do it. Don't know why I would, though. I'll see you next time with more of the Sunday Sampler.